Episode 45.8. Should I get extra solar? I'm not talking about putting megawatts of energy onto the roof, but actually just filling the small gap that I have to the top of this picture. So first of all, can I fit any extra solar panels in? And the answer is yes. Of a similar size panel, I can fit another 4 panels. And looking around, I think there'd be 300 watt panels, so I should be able to get another 1200 watt peak system in the space I have available. So that's the first stage, a big thumbs up for that one. But can I actually use any extra power? Well, looking back through the data that I've gathered through the year, it looks like every single week I've actually pulled something from the grid, and the least has been 22 kilowatt hours. So if I take the 22 kilowatt hours and try and get an average over the week, that gives us 3.14 kilowatt hours. And looking a little bit more closely through the Tesla data on a month by month basis, there's quite a few days when I've been completely grid free. However, to be completely grid free, I do have to have 2 solid days of really good sunshine because of heating the hot water and also charging the solar battery. But altogether, I've worked out that have been grid free for about 30 days. And looking at the my energi Eddi, I've actually only had an excess solar beyond the battery of 276 kilowatt hours. I've also got an extra electric car now, so we've got the Model 3 Standard Range Plus and also the Volkswagen Egolf, and I can also change the type of chargers I've got to the my energi Zappy style, so I can always use extra energy if necessary. But the real question is it worth putting the extra solar on? Realistically, I'm only going to be able to put a 1 kilowatt peak or a 1 kilowatt inverter on the 1200 watt peak panels. So to decide if this is going to be viable, I thought I'd come up with a graph. So the blue line is my home usage, so that's all the energy I've used in the home across 2020. The red line is what I generated in the home, and that's from the 3 kilowatt SMA inverter that I currently have on my 4 kilowatt peak solar array. And the purple line is 33% more than that, so that is showing how much energy I could generate with another 1 kilowatt inverter. So on the face of it, it does look like I could generate more power and use it comfortably without exporting a huge amount of power. But this could actually have a bigger negative effect than what you think, and I'm just going to have to explain what's been happening this year. At the beginning of a really sunshiny day, and say the battery was completely empty, the sunshine does fully fill the battery, and then we move over to the my energi Eddi device, which then starts to heat the hot water, but it never actually completely finishes heating the hot water. So we move back to the Tesla powerwall in the middle of the night to heat the hot water up ready for the next morning. Now in theory that's fine, but this time the battery doesn't completely discharge, so we could still have 25% battery in there. So the sun comes up the next day really bright again, and it fills up the battery quicker. And because it's filled the battery up quicker, what then happens is it starts heating the hot water up quicker. Now this can go on for 2, maybe 3 days. However, eventually the hot water is completely heated up and the battery is completely full by the end of the solar day. So as the night comes, the battery has so little to do in the early hours of the morning that it could actually start the day quite full, up to 90%, which then means I'm going to have to top the battery up to 100%, and then we move back over to the solar the my energi solar diverter to heat the hot water. So in theory everything's fine, but what would happen was the energy would then run out of space, so the battery would be completely full, the hot water would be completely heated, and then I'd be exporting. Now this has happened once in 2020, but this could happen more and more often if I added more solar. It would also happen quicker, But looking at the financials, I've worked out it would probably cost me around about £800 to add the extra 4 panels with the inverter and all the auxiliaries that go with it. And I think I would produce around about 1 megawatt hour from the 4 panels and that system. But looking at what I've paid for electricity over the year so far, I think I'd only actually be saving approximately £60 a year. Now, based on spending £800, that makes it a 13-year payback. Now, if I wasn't on Octopus Agile, I think I would definitely consider it without really asking any questions. But if you've had some extra solar put on your roof and you're finding that you're exporting lots and lots of energy since doing it, do you think it's still worth adding that extra solar so you do have the option of using the extra solar that you're generating? Or do you think it was a complete waste of money and you'd be better off just trying to use less? So coming up with more initiative ways to use less energy in the home. So please share your thoughts on my situation. Do you think I could use the extra power? Do you think I'd be better off just leaving it as it is and just making do with what I've already got, or investing the extra money in the extra solar? Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've got any comments or questions, please add it to the section below, and please like and subscribe.